Peace, family. What's going on? I'm back with another video. Um, Now this is going to be the first video of a series, and it's going to be about each of the signs. It's going to be the sun in each of the astrological signs in your birth horoscope. And the first one is going to be on the sign of Aries, as you can see the glyph right here. And Aries rules the first house in the horoscope. All right, so basically, what Aries is, anybody who's born under the sign of Aries, you basically came here to establish your own identity, your own personality. All right, so this is why a lot of times you meet Aries people, they can seem kind of self-centered, or you know just stuck in themselves, or all about themselves. It's a reason for that, because that's what they came here to establish. Not that they can't have relationships, or that that's not important to them, because it is. But this is the first theme for them. um I think that sometimes Aries get a bad rap because of this, but this is the reason why I think it's important for us to study astrology, because we can get to understand why people are the way they are. You know what I mean? And it's not necessarily nothing wrong with it. We all just different. um so Aries, the part of the body that Aries rules, is the head in astrology. um Usually when you meet an Aries person, a lot of them might have like some kind of scar on their face, or a mole, or a big some kind of birthmark, or even maybe when they was little, they might have had an injury and still have the scar to this day on it, somewhere on their face. You know what I mean? Like, if you ever pay attention to somebody with the sun in Aries, or Aries is their rising sign, you probably will see some kind of mark, somewhere on their face. um the ruler of Aries is the planet Mars, and Mars in astrology is the planet of passion, the planet of fiery energy. And the element that Aries falls under is the fire element. It's one of three fire signs, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So Aries is the most fiery of the fire signs, because it's the very first one, and it's about bringing bringing energy into manifestation on the physical level. So a lot of Aries people, most of them just have a lot of energy. Usually they bouncing around, always on the move. They can't sit still. They're always looking for the next adventure, the next thing to get into. You know, and a lot of people find it, hard to keep up with Aries. That's why, like, the elements is important to know what element you matching yourself up with. It might take another fire sign in order to be able to be with Aries, to in it, to be able to handle all of that energy. you know but the main thing about Aries that I think that, okay, let's see, Aries is an initiator of the zodiac. All right, basically meaning that they'll be the ones that's always ready to start something, whether it's some kind of new project, or they might be the one that come up with the idea to go on a vacation, or anything that's happening. Usually the Aries person in the group is the one who came up with the idea, or got everybody riled up and ready to get ready to do it, whatever that might be. And that's why it's good to have Aries person around, because you know you never really get bored, when you got an Aries in your circle. And like, it can turn into a negative thing sometime, because they can be the first ones to get into trouble. It don't change just because it's positive or negative. They can be the first to be ready to do something that's not so good, or not so beneficial to them, because they going into situations head first to learn. They're here to learn this time about developing a personality. So they're trying a lot of new things in this life, and a lot of times it kind of backfire on them, because I think one of the things that Aries need to cultivate, is the ability to think before they act, because they're always ready to act and get into some kind of action, but it's always best to take some time and think before you act. And this is one of the challenges for Aries. This is one of the lessons that they need to learn while they're here in this life, to take some time out, and reflect. Also, Aries need to take some time, just take some time every day just to unwind, maybe to get into some kind of meditation, or just get into, get to some quiet place where you can just shut down for a minute. You know what I mean? Just shut down, clear your mind, and recharge your batteries, because all of the fire you got, all of the energy, it can really put a lot of wear and tear on your body and on your mind. And rest is important, not only for Aries, but for all of us. But specifically for the fire signs. They have to be careful just not to expend all of their energy. Even though they have an abundance of energy, but at the same time, it's about learning how to direct your energy to the best possible avenues. You know what I mean? Like, use your energy on some project you're working on, or something beneficial with your career, or something that you into in your life that's good and of a benefit to you, instead of just using your energy, you know, just on some useless activity. Basically, is what I'm saying. So that's another thing that I think Aries need to take a look into. Now, Aries can be pretty bossy too. You know what I mean? Like, they can rub people the wrong way a lot, because they like to give orders, but they don't like to take orders from nobody. They don't like nobody telling them what to do. They want to be the person in charge at all times. You do this, all right, I want you to do this. Like, if you got an Aries that's your employer, you know what I mean? They not gonna just give orders. They gonna give them with charge. They have like a strong command of everything. And this is why, like, a lot of people don't mind following Aries, because they're real confident. They're real confident people, and they know exactly what they want to do, and they know the direction that they want to go in. You know what I mean? So they make good leaders. A lot of good generals was Aries people. A lot of motivational speakers is Aries, because they got that fire. They can, get people riled up. You know what I mean? And ignite that fire in you, to make you want to, do whatever it is that they talking about. Whatever they put their mind to, and they get to sharing that vision, and they get to speaking with that fire. It give people that motivation. Then next thing you know, you like, dang, you know what, you right. We do need to do this, or we do need to do that. And so that's why, we have to know who to appoint as our leaders too. You know what I mean? Everybody is not meant to be a leader of the people. Everybody just not meant to do that. This is why you got people who fiery, because fire represents passion. It represents that drive and that spark. You know what I mean? You can't get a person, with no fire planets in their birth chart. No, or maybe only one fire planet. Maybe they've got one planet in Leo. Then they got other, mostly water and earth planets in their horoscope. You know what I mean? You got to have a person with a lot of fire. You know what I mean? That fire is spread. When you look at a regular fire or a forest fire, what do? It spread wherever it make contact, and then the fire grow bigger and bigger. That's how it is with fiery people. They inspire people. You know what I mean? And their vision just grows bigger and bigger. And so this is why we need to take a look into a person's chart when we trying to decide, is this person good to be trying to lead the people? Other people are best suited for spiritual matters, like the watery people, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. These are your intuitive people. You know what I mean? Who can really feel things out. Then you got the air element, the intellectual people, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. You know, that's their purpose. You know what I mean? To come up with new and inspiring ideas. You know what I mean? So it's always, I can't stress that enough, always good to look at the elements. Always look to the elements in your birth chart. Um, Another thing I wanted to touch on is Aries women. Aries women have a hard time in relationships because, you know, they have a lot of what's considered to be masculine energy. You know, if I can use that term, you know, not like they you know, trying to be masculine, but they have that dominant energy. Aries is a very dominant sign, you know, and the planetary ruler, which is Mars, is a very dominant planet in astrology. And so when you got a woman who's an Aries, she want to take the lead naturally. She have a hard time listening to a man, and even in certain instances where it's best for, you know, women to kind of listen to what the man is saying, especially if it's like it usually is, and the man is more logical, you know, where a woman is usually coming from emotion. Certain situations, logic is what's called for and not emotion. And so in them situations, I think it's good for women to take a back seat and try to listen and understand. And then vice versa, you know, men should do the same thing when it's best for emotion to rule, when the woman, you know, is best for the situation. But yeah, I think that a lot of Aries women have a hard time with that, and I think that that's something that they can work on. You know what I mean? Just work on, you know, work on calming down sometime. Not always wanting to, you know, be in charge, especially if you have a man who's got a lot of fiery energy as well, or, you know, who's really a good leader, because two people can't lead. One person can only lead at a time, or y'all can lead. One person can lead in certain parts of the relationship. The other person can handle other things. You know what I mean? So I think it's all about how you balance out the elements for specific times. Um, so I think it's best to just look at it like that. Um, Another thing about Aries, even though they're good initiators, they're good at starting things. They're not the best finishers because they get bored real easy. You know, they might be real excited about something that they start up, like a new project or something. You know, but if it don't move along fast enough for them, then they're getting bored. You know, then they don't want to. You know, they can't stick with it. So that's another thing for Aries. I think they need to cultivate is a little bit of discipline. You know, to calm down and see your ideas all the way through. You know, see them through to fruition. Don't just give up and, you know, be ready to throw in the towel when something ain't moving fast enough. So I think that's all I wanted to touch on with this sign. I will say another thing: Aries is into sports. Even the women is real good athletes. A lot of them. Um, you know, some women know more about, you know, sports than some men do. One of my aunts is an Aries, and she know a lot more about football than a lot of guys do. She was always at the games, and you know what I mean, on the sidelines cheering, you know, louder than most of the coaches and stuff. So you know, that's a fun thing about an Aries woman. If you a guy, you with an Aries woman, like she can really get into sports and a lot of things that, you know, that guys is into. All right, so I'm gonna try not to make this video too long. So I'll be back next time with the video for Taurus. Thanks.